Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Storm clouds out behind me. Hear the thunder. Uh, Lightning will soon come. It's like America. The storm clouds are gathering. Uh, it's going to storm, and that's unfortunately, that's something that has we've been talking about for quite a long time, all the way back to the COVID uh, lie that came out. We knew that we were being compromised very early on, mostly by the Democrat Party. And here we are with the Democrat Party basically pushing a full scale, what they think is going to be a full scale civil war so that they can take over America, right? So America, as we know, is the last bastion of, freedom, last bastion, right? So we've talked about this many times. They are in the process of taking it down and destroying America. All right, so it can't happen. We can't allow it, can we? So we're going to talk about it. We get educated. We get to see what these guys are up to. We call it out, and we don't allow them to continue that process. Of course, there's 20 to 30% of our population who are compromised, unfortunately, and they're going to help the Democrats going forward. Of course, there's a few Republicans stuffed in there too. But here is, I'm going to show this clip. Senator Alex Padilla is forcibly removed from Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's news conference in Los Angeles because the Democrats are going to try and disrupt everything. And here we have a senator that came in to try and disrupt it. And he was pushed and dragged out of the conference that he was trying to, like a little child, interfere with, and he was arrested. Now, obviously, he's a senator. He could have a conversation with her aides, and they could set something up where he could personally talk to her. But this is all grandstanding. This is all grandstanding. It's for the cameras. They're going to try and work this. They're going to say that, oh, look at this. America is turning violent under President Trump. Actually, this is kind of feel good for those of us that are sick and tired of these Democrat assholes. And watching this guy get taken out and arrested and drug away is beautiful. So as you can see, he's resisting arrest. All right, so it's going to continue like this. These guys are going to continue to disrupt like they're doing, like they tried to do in LA. The federal government from coming in to save Americans from illegal activity. Now, the drug cartels, Mexican drug cartels coming from the border, are controlling and have been controlling immigrants, illegal immigrants. We can't really call them immigrants because if they were immigrants, then that would be a legal process. But illegal invaders, right? So some of these people, for years, for decades, really, some of them, and they've raised families here and everything. It's a broken system, yes. They understand that. They've tried to work within the system, and now it's coming to a head. We're going to have to fix the system. Some people are getting smart and they're leaving. Some people are going to try and stay under the radar because they've been good at doing that for decades. Some people are going to turn violent. And some of these people are Americans of Hispanic descendancy that have lived in America for generations already. They have $300, you know, you know, Converse or whatever tennis shoes on, and they're out here demonstrating, and then they go back to Bel Air or wherever they're from after they've been demonstrating. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They wouldn't last 2 minutes in Mexico, burning Mexican flags and yelling obscenities and saying they deserve to come down there and do whatever they want. No, only in America do you have the ability to protest peaceably. But when you get violent with the protests, then there are problems. Now in LA, there are basically no more demonstrations at all. They finally get wise. There's no more demonstrations at all in LA. They started it, I think, Wednesday night. No more nighttime demonstrations. They arrested, of course, 200 people last night, and now there's no demonstrations allowed in LA. Now in LA, there's no place on a wall, on a building, on the streets where they haven't tagged everything. What kind of protest are these where you come in and destroy your community with graffiti, with obscenities? These are probably, a lot of these are not even people that are from LA, that are paid to come here, paid to go there. Now in a couple of days from now, we're going to have 2,000 demonstrations, 2,000 planned demonstrations, and maybe even more. It's just under 2,000. I'm sure in the next couple of days there will be at least 2,000, probably more, all across America. The No Kings demonstrations, and some of these are the local, politicians or so forth are begging, the citizenry not to get out of control. And in what time frame have we ever had to do this before? The George Floyd riots. So the George Floyd riots are very similar, paid, as we knew back then, paid protesters and so forth, and instigators. You had, the local college campuses where, like, they couldn't go to school. They were, they weren't supposed to go into classes. Everybody's wearing a mask, or social distancing. But you could magically, and it wouldn't affect anything, wouldn't kill you, or wouldn't be considered, a law, breaking offense. Whereas before it was, of course. But you could gather, and you didn't have to have masks, and you didn't have social distancing, and you could protest. You could protest the George Floyd, lie, the lie of his death, right? So we know that this is all of this is also a lie. It's for the drug cartels, basically, that are have been controlling, like I talked about earlier, started to talk about it, and they're controlling drug trafficking, human trafficking. And when someone comes in and starts to work in America, if the cartels have brought them in, they have to pay the cartels. So we know that a lot of these people are working under, they're not getting what Americans make, because Americans have to pay taxes. They're not paying taxes. Some of them do. I guess if they've been here long enough, but they don't get any benefit from those taxes, as far as, like, refunds or anything like that. And they're supposed to not get social services, but I guess they do, some of them, especially in California. There's no process for these people to, voice a displeasure with cartel members, taking a piece of their money. And I guess they, end up paying a lot of these cartels for a long time. So no one talks about that, right? So I've talked to a lot of people over the years about that. That is a thing. And of course, we know if they have, sex trafficking, whether it's minors or whether it's, adults or whatever it is, they're making money off that. If they do drug trafficking, obviously they're making money off that. And then, of course, they have their drug distributors and so forth. They're making money off that. So they're getting a piece of everything. Now, who do you think allows them continue with this process all over our country. The Democrats. Why would the Democrats be so like that one idiot there in LA? Why would these Democrat idiots come in and do that? Because they're told to, because that's how they're staying in power. They're getting kickbacks from the drug cartels. So the drug cartels are trafficking humans and then workers and everybody that, they're saying, oh, the meat packing plants, they're raiding the meat packing plant. We won't have anybody to pack our meat. They won't have anybody to tend the fields and on and on and on. But no one talks about how they are, having to pay these drug cartels. So these drug cartels, at some point, which own a piece of the Mexican territory across the border, they completely and totally have control of it. Yes, my mic is on. Maybe you can't hear it, Mike, but everybody else, yeah, sounds like his pro mic is off. Maybe it's not on my pro mic. So let me look and see what mic is on. Yes, the Ozbot. Damn it. Nope, that just changed the camera. Audio. So now it's on my Scarlett. How about that? So I had problems with, thanks for bringing that to my attention. So I had problems. It is on over here where my microphone is, but there is definitely a problem going on with the internet guys. I'm getting hammered by the internet on the internet. I lost my StreamYard for a long time. Had to spend hours getting someone to come in and get me back into StreamYard. I had shows earlier that I had to cancel because I couldn't get into StreamYard. So there is, as you guys know, I bring in some guests like Juan O'Savin that talks about things. Sounded very professional now. Thank you. All right, so that talk about things that obviously there's a lot of groups that don't want that, especially right now. I'm so surprised that I'm on YouTube, but so maybe somebody came in and said, let's let him talk. He'll be our example that we do have free speech. All right. So and they profit off me too. I mean, YouTube, has profited off me for a long time. So maybe because they're coming after some of these social media platforms, maybe they're having to let some of us back in. And but Rumble sucks still. Rumble sucks still, guys. I still don't have the numbers here on YouTube. My numbers have been growing like crazy. More subscribers. Just everything's better on YouTube, right? So anyway, StreamYard was not working up here in Canada stand either, huh? Wow. So maybe it was not just here. Maybe it was not just me. Maybe it was StreamYard wide. But for whatever reason, I'm able to use it now. So we're going to have these problems going forward, and we've talked about that. They're probably going to shut down. The internet at some point, and that could be a white hat thing, so that the black hats can't communicate. When we start to see these riots get out of control, people start to die. It's coming. This is the way leftists have and communists and fascists have done this throughout time, guys. They come in and basically take over all of the free speech, shut it down, try and take away all the weapons. They weren't successful in that, so that's not looking so good for them, is it? Imagine if they had taken away our weapons. Oh, we would be done. We would be done, especially when things start to get crazy, as they're going to get, right? They're going to get there. All right. So thanks for a heads up on the Mikey phone. So we'll go forward and talk about Democrat governors defend sanctuary policies before Congress. So we had a few governors, Democrat governors, of course, with sanctuary cities that were talking to Congress. Of course, they talk out of one side, but on the other side, that thing that comes out the back end, that's where the real speech comes from, right? So we've had Pritzker, Walz, and Hochul were speaking today before Congress. Tough questions from Republicans. So yeah, tough questions don't get anything done, guys. So I say all three of those people will be in jail. They're going to be in jail, right? And all of the governors, like Newsom and so forth. I'm not going to be wrong about this. I will not be wrong about this. And we'll see all of them basically be arrested because they're going to support when things get out of control. They're already supporting them. They're already talking out of one side, but really they're talking out the other, right? It's BS that's coming from these people. So they're saying, we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing. It's up to the federal government to do these other things. But, we don't agree, though, with President Trump using federal troops to come in. Well, it is a federal, case. And if the local law enforcement can't handle it, then he's got to bring in federal troops to help the law enforcement, the federal law enforcement, because the local law enforcement either can't, won't, or is dragging their feet, or all the above, right? Very, very, very rarely in these Democrat, cities and states are we going to see at this point, the local law enforcement. There'll be a few examples of people that have somehow survived and not been removed. That are good guys, but for the most part, unfortunately, a lot of these people are compromised guys. They have been moved out. I've seen this. I saw this when I was in wars. Once the war is basically once the heavy fighting is over, and then they start to go to the political realm where they try and do defensive actions, then things change badly. So in these Democrat cities and so forth, they're trying to meter and control the level of violence on the good guy side. The other guys, they can do everything they want, everything and anything that they want. What we don't do is civil immigration enforcement. That's the federal government's job, said Hochul. States like mine are doing our part. But we can't be expected to fix the broken immigration system. So it's the federal government's fault. So, okay, so it's broken. Let's work together and fix it. No, because they're benefiting from it. We know that. We know they have these illegal aliens in there so they can have the body count. Now, there is a movement where if you're not a U.S. citizen, you're not going to get a body count. Ooh, that's gonna really be bad for them. Then they're like, throw off these illegal aliens. Like, oh well, too bad, you're gone. Just like we did with the blacks. The blacks didn't work. The gays didn't work. The transgenders didn't work. So now we're going to try and use the Mexican Americans, right, or Mexicans. Right, and Mexican Americans, because Mexican Americans think they're illegal aliens too, even though they've lived here and they're citizens. So it's stupidity beyond belief. So we're going to have a lot of that, and we're going to have a lot of white people that just need a cause because they are brainwashed, and they're going to get involved with this. It's insanity. It's insanity to see some of these people do the things that they do, right? Just like we saw with a lot of people during the George Floyd rioting, where lots of white people took knees to black people because they were like subservient to black people all of a sudden. So it's very easy, and no one is subservient to anyone. Everyone is equal under U.S. constitutional law, whether you're black, white, yellow, brown, whatever, green, from another
star system, whatever, you still have rights, right? You're equal under the law. But during that time frame, they had people that they were convincing that we're above you. You have been bad to us for so long, and we're getting that. That didn't work out, so now they moved on to the next useful idiots, and that will be the people that are here illegally. So they'll use that as long as they can until it's no longer viable for them, and we've awakened everyone. Or the people that are getting violent, that have been paid to be violent, are basically arrested and removed or thrown in jail for up to 20 years. Now, we've heard from Pam Bondi that they're looking at if anyone is involved in some of these, burning of the cities and so forth, you're going to get 20 years. Just like those people that were burning the Teslas when they came out, it was like, oh, burn a Tesla, you get 20 years. Boy, that stopped quick, didn't it? And then, of course, Trump said, you tear down a statue, I don't care what it is, that the federal government has put up, you're going to get 10 years. And it all stopped. So now Pam Bondi is saying 20 years for those people that are involved in these riots and so forth. and they can be proven to be, very violent or whatever. So we're going to see a lot of people probably go to jail for a long time. And some of those people will be the people that are sitting in those state houses, guys. It's coming. It's absolutely coming. There's no question about it. Now, these people, Pritzker being one of them, reinforced that Illinois complies with the law, but expects the federal government to do the same. It's wrong to deploy the National Guard. So same thing I was telling you guys. Talk out of this side, but really you're talking out the other side. Right? So here he is. He switches it back and forth. So I'm not confused. And I don't think those senators are confused. Will they, hold him, accountable? Well, it's on the record now. So they're bringing him in. It's on the record. And then when they display that they are not abiding by federal law, which they aren't now and haven't been, but now that they're on the record, then they go to jail. They go to jail for, we won't see them again. They won't come out of jail again in their lifetime. They're going to jail for the rest of their lives, right? Because when you look at all the people that are going to be involved, each one of those people that's involved, that's 20 years. That's 20 years. So you're going to look at, thousands of years. These guys are not coming out of prison. They're not coming out of prison. So the hearing, so it goes on. It says it's wrong to deploy the National Guard and active duty Marines into an American city over the objection of local law enforcement, just to inflame a situation and create a crisis. So he's trying to bullshit. He's trying to bullshit. The local law enforcement, again, is not the federal government. The federal government that comes in to arrest illegal aliens, which these people in their sanctuary cities are allowing. So he's lying. He's lying. They all are lying. They're not helping. They're not doing their part. They're breaking the law. These sanctuary cities are breaking the law, federal law. So now the federal government, Trump is coming in. President Trump is sending in, people to basically go after the people that are doing the crimes first, right? For the most part. And these people are resisting that because they're getting a piece of it. And that I promise you is going to be, they're going to display that. They're going to display these people that are getting money. And they've already started some of that. They've already started to display some of these judges and so forth that are getting money. Right? Millions of dollars. We all know these people come into office and they get rich, offer like $150,000, $200,000 salary, and they're there for like 4 years and they have multi-million-dollar mansions and everything. No. And it wasn't from a book deal that no one bought the book. That's money laundering too. Look at those books that Obama put out there, and he made tens of millions of dollars. That's money laundering, guys. Somebody like, bring them to the warehouse, all right? Leave them in the warehouse. How much for each book? $25. Okay. Million books. A million books. Of course, the book company gets a piece, and the publishing gets a piece. But those people that are doing these books and making lots of money like that, total money laundering. Total money laundering. I publish my own books, right? Because I got a lot of pushback from Amazon and a lot of other companies for trying to put my information out. Because what am I doing? I'm waking people up. They didn't like that. And then when I did get my books on Amazon, they had people come in and attack my book and then take off the people that came in and made amazing comments. Unbelievable, right? So this is what we have in America. We have these Democrats and these Republicans that are in office, getting paid and destroying our country, right? So it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. All of them are coming to an end. All of them are going to jail, right? Now, I know a lot of you are like, we've been talking this. At what time in history have we been at the point where we're at now, where that is close to and a possibility? You just saw that senator just get arrested. That wasn't something that did not happen. He got arrested. You haven't seen that before. You haven't seen it before. It's happening. All right. Juan O'Savin said that Hillary Clinton is close to being arrested, right? Or whoever's playing her right now. So that is coming as well. He said it. It's close. Now, what is it that's going to make a difference going forward? Now, Juan also said that the thing that Trump will be remembered for is he's going to change our election process so that it's actually fair. Yes. So it's actually going to be fair. And when have we seen that? Probably never, really. So he will be recognized as the man, the president that will go down in history as being the guy that fixed the election process. So the election process, imagine the next cycle coming up. We've basically gone in, and like Juan O'Savin said, that's his group has basically gone in and told the president, and it can be done. Everyone has to re-register because it's so corrupt. If everyone comes in and I think that's like so easy. I mean, so easy. So everyone re-registers. U.S. citizen. You're not a U.S. citizen. What are you trying to do here? Arrest that idiot. Arrest him. Right? To jail. And then out of the country because you're illegal trying to vote. No. All right. Who put you up to that? Kathy Hochul. Oh, well, she's getting arrested today too. So this is something that's coming. The voting system. So we may even go all the way to, the midterms. The midterms start next year. Everybody starts to politic for the midterms, right? And then in November of next year, they vote. And then we have into the following year, the beginning of the year, we have hopefully a lot of senators and I'm not saying they have to be Republicans, but we know the Democrat Party is completely compromised. The Democrat Party will absolutely completely go away. And these riots are going to come, and the deaths that are going to occur will make so many people angry at them, it will be very difficult for them to walk the streets. Be very difficult for them to walk the streets. So that's why I'm saying a lot of these people are going to be arrested. All right, so we may go through this one period where we get legal voting for the first time, maybe in the history of the United States, where it really is a good election. And then we're going to see a lot of these people. I don't know. Maybe there's still a few Democrats will be elected because there definitely is brainwashed people out there. There's no question about that. Everybody knows that. NPCs on a massive scale. So these people basically, once their conscience is compromised, it's hard to like turn it, right? Because there's so many different things that come in. You have politics, you have religion, you have educational system, and people that have been, compromised by that system for generations. It's extremely hard to break that, guys. It is extremely hard to break that pattern. So we'll still see some people probably vote Democrat. I can't imagine why, but maybe, like I said, in these upcoming riots that are just they're here among us already. So let's go into that. All right, so we have the two-faced, talking out one end, really talking out the other side. Governors that will at some point spend the rest of their lives in prison, and then we have riots that are already starting to generate beyond Los Angeles, in Chicago, New York City, lots of places getting ready to explode. Or are they? Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't. Maybe people will see, I'm going to get 20 years if I get out of wine. All right, yeah. And then they start arresting people, and it's like 20 years, 20 years, 20 years, 20 years. All right. This whole street, all you people that are blocking traffic in the street, that are throwing Molotov cocktails and dragging people out of cars, all of you people on the street, 20 years, 150 of you, boom, gotcha. All right, 150 people go to jail, 20 years, boom. You think it's going to continue? You think it's going to continue? No. As long as this gets out there, it won't continue. But if they suppress it like they're doing already in the press, of course, I'm putting out, and I know there's probably other people out there that are putting this out. It's not going to happen. People aren't going to go out and continue to do that. Now, we are seeing what I think some people are getting, little wacky in the brain out there, and they're talking about attacking the protesters, the ICE protesters. So if they're on social media saying they're going to plow cars through people, and they've already had people plow cars through people, that's interesting, right? So they've already had people plowing cars into protesters, and now there's people talking about it. Is that just random? Are these people being put up to do that? Maybe not all of them, but I would say probably 99.9% of them. Right? So a driver plowed through a group of protesters Tuesday in the Loop, Chicago, downtown Chicago, apparently striking at least one pedestrian as thousands marched through downtown Chicago protesting the Trump administration's ongoing immigration raids. All right. So Manhattan, they're going off in Manhattan, New York, right, and Chicago. So it's pretty much on. So earlier this week, FBI Director Kash Patel declared that the riots in Los Angeles are not organic spillovers from extratemporaneous protest. Like I'm walking down the street and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to protest all these immigrants are getting like arrested and flown back to their cities. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to do that today. So no, that's not happening. There's people that are organizing this, and that's why I think there's a very good chance, and maybe it'll just happen in certain cities or maybe states where you will no longer see, because I've seen this overseas. When terrorist attacks happen, and then the internet goes whoop, the TV goes whoop, no more. So you just, I guess we're just gonna play tiddlywinks, right? So there's nothing else to do in this Middle Eastern country where we're not really supposed to be here. So, and that's kind of the way it is. No internet, no cell service, and no TV, right? So a lot of you were like lose your minds if that happened. You'd like run down the street screaming, right? And what's going on? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know? No, they don't know because it's basically shut down on purpose so that people won't go, talking about rioting, right? That could be what it's coming. The point of the riots is to terrorize communities and intimidate federal, not law enforcement, right? Federal law enforcement. The law enforcement basically gets involved in the city that they're in if federal government buildings, like we've seen in LA, come under attack. And then you have National Guard get involved because they're federal. And like we've seen, we get Marines involved. Now, Marines are hunt and kill, right? You go stupid, the Marines will come hunt you and kill you, right? You will die. If the Marines are let loose, they will kill, period, all right? Now, a lot of people are saying we shouldn't have the Marines there like that. Well, maybe things have kind of like settled down there in LA because they are there. Yeah. Now, is this going to happen in every city across America? The 2,000 city, riots that are planned? I don't think there's going to be 2,000 riots, but there are probably going to be a few, right? Maybe a lot, right? So the FBI delivered on one notable instance. It said video cameras had caught someone, and I played that on my show yesterday, distributing expensive, I think they're like $100 and something a piece, bionic shield face masks to rioters in order to resist police crowd control measures. Investigators identified Alejandro Orlana as the supplier and paid him a visit today. Hello, Alejandro. we need to talk to you. You may get 20 years. You may get 20 years, sir. Right? We may set a very nice example of you. Right? So, and I hope that happens. So that's what we're seeing. So they're saying that they want to start to go after the people that are the next level. They're already starting to talk about how they're going to go after people that are, funding this. President Trump talked about that today. So let's see what did President Trump say about that.
When it comes to Los Angeles or other cities, if we see other cities are gearing up, and these people are agitators, they're paid, they're professionals, they're insurrectionists, they're troublemakers, they're all of those things, but I believe they're paid, and we're going to find out through Pam Bondi and her great staff, her great people, just as who they are. And Mike, I think you're doing some investigations in that in Congress, but we're going to find out who they are because they're really, I think what they're doing is unbelievably illegal. Just one thing. So they took the bricks away from people. They're walking in with satchels of bricks. Now, why do you have bricks? You have bricks because you throw bricks. They're very potent. If they hit you, they kill you. And they took them away. The military took them away. They saw him. What the hell is this? The guy could hardly carry many bricks. He's a strong guy, couldn't carry him. And they saw that and they took them away. Then they found others with bricks. But they're ingenious. They also brought hammers along, very heavy hammers. And I saw them pounding the curb and pounding the sidewalk. It was like a military operation. This guy's pounding strong, boom, big shots. And it was breaking up granite, the granite curbs. And the granite was breaking up and the concrete was breaking up. And there was lines of people standing there and they're handing him. And then he stopped handing him. They just went down and picked him up. It was so professional. I said, that's a professional organization. This is not like people at random. This guy's breaking up because they couldn't use the bricks. So who would think of this even? Did a lot of damage. A lot of curbs are broken. A lot of sidewalks broken. But I never saw that before. That's one I haven't seen. I thought I saw it all. And they have it on tape. And with that, people get killed. They go to the bridges and they drop the concrete off the top of the bridge with a car coming along at 70 miles an hour and the person dies. And we had a lot of car problems. You saw that. They were all over the road. They were littered all over the road where the cars got stopped by concrete going through the front windshield. These are bad people. If we didn't go, Los Angeles right now would be on fire. It would be a disaster. and we stopped it. And last night was very good. Nobody showed up. You know why they didn't show up? Because we were there. If it was just the police, because the police are great. I know those police, they're great, but they're told not to do anything. They're not allowed to act. Thank you.
All right. So as you guys can see, the narrative is shifting very quickly. Will it be quick enough to overcome the damage that is coming? No. Leftists aren't going to stop. This is a leftist movement. They've done this throughout time. They've taken over a lot of countries throughout time. They're going to continue to come at America. They planned this for a long time, and it's going to get violent. Right? So people are going to start dying. Now, will it be someone like I just described that is a leftist leaner? Because somebody that's probably going to kill somebody that's a demonstrator, they're probably going to find out that for their whole lives they were Democrat leftist, and then all of a sudden they turn and went after the leftist demonstrators. It's like, those leftists for life, and then Elon Musk starts working with Trump to take away the corruption in the United States government, and then they turn on Tesla before, because that was the Green New Deal and Tesla was the things you wanted to buy. Everyone was like, Tesla, buy your Tesla. If you're cool, you got a Tesla. And then, Elon Musk is exposing the stuff that Democrats have been using to make money and launder and all that kind of stuff. And then they send their little monkeys out to, fly around and do stupid shit. And that's what we're seeing right now in the cities. The same brainwashed monkeys are out there running around amok, doing stupid, breaking curbs and carrying bricks around and distributing them, distributing masks so that they can continue the mayhem longer. So now they basically shut everything down. But do you think they've stopped? I'm going to show you video here in a little bit. They're still active. It's still on, guys. Even though I've been told to go home, the party's over, guys. Time to go home. I remember when I was a bouncer, it was like, boy, I'd get some resistance sometimes, and it didn't work out good. It didn't work out good for some people. All right, so just like you saw that senator asshole in L.A. So thousands protest ICE in New York City as mayor assures safety for both New Yorkers and protesters. You can't have both there, Mr. Mayor, right? And you're probably not going to last long because all the leftists in New York don't like you because you've gone to Trump. You're starting to make too much sense now. You're starting to talk logically, and leftists don't like logic. Don't like logic at all. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to Manhattan, Lower Manhattan. So it says cries of down with deportation, up with liberation, rung through the streets as large crowds carrying colorful signs made their way through the Big Apple. Banners emblazoned with slogans in both English and Espanol called for the prompt exit of ICE, because ICE is hindering the Democrat money laundering machine. They must leave. They must leave. Our Democrat controllers, they don't like it, so we're brainwashed by them, so we will demonstrate. And if need be, we'll get violent. Because it's like a switch. It's like a switch, these brainwashed idiots, monkeys. Right? So they have a docile mode, obey mode, and then they have violent mode. Oh, you can't do that, and start throwing bricks. And with the intention of killing people. Yes. Wow. It's like it's amazing how that happens. But I've seen it. I've seen it overseas. It's insane. So we're getting the same stuff. Census data show that 40% of New York's city's residents are immigrants. Now, is that legal immigrants or illegal immigrants. They missed that. They missed that. That's one very defining point, right? One defining point that they needed to report, right? So I would say it's probably mostly illegal. So, but these Democrats, they just want this 15-minute city, and then they want just these electric cars. It's like no one's going to be able to afford to live in these cities other than the people that are rich, right? The people that actually do the work, like these illegal immigrants, they don't make that much money. They don't even make what normal Americans make. And then that money they do make, they have to like send back home or send it to their sponsor, who's probably a cartel. So they have to drive in from a long distance, and electric cars can't go very far. Right? So their logic is just not there. So you see how I say when people come in with logic, they can't stand that. They can't stand it because it makes everything break down for them. It's like, no, we need illegal immigrants because they do other work, but they can't afford to like live in the cities. They have to like drive in. Well, they can have electric cars, electric buses, and all that kind of stuff, but they always break down and they can't go that far. And then they start to, it starts to break down for them. Then they get violent. It's like, how dare you break down my illogical rationale? Right? You are obviously a Nazi. You're a Nazi. So, God, it's disgusting. Senator Josh Hawley expands probe into groups allegedly. So we have to say allegedly before we get the actual evidence, I guess, which we already have these evidence, but they're saying allegedly now. So they're allegedly funding anti-ICE riots. He threatened subpoenas. 3 groups face possible subpoenas if they fail to respond to requests for financial documents and internal communications. All right, Hawley says he has yet to hear a response from organizations he is probing for potentially supporting riots in LA in recent days. So which are these organizations? Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, the Party for Socialism and Liberation. I've been saying it's communist. Democrats are communist, and the Union del Barrio. That sounds very, I don't know, Spanish, I guess, on Wednesday. So no response, and no immediate response from any of these. So this is not spontaneous, and the proof that can be seen as the riots are spreading. So all they do is stall. They don't respond until you like knock on the door with law enforcement. It's like, you're going to come with us. Right? And then they resist, and then they get arrested, and they get drug in, and they like sit down in the chairs. Like, all right, who's funding this? I don't know. Yeah, well, okay. So we have the paperwork here. It says George Soros, Bill Gates, and I don't know anything about that. That's just the way they're going to be, guys. They're not going to come right out. We're going to have all the proof. We're going to have it all lined up. And when they resist, when they lie, it's just like all criminals. They're going to resist all the way to the end until it's like you got everything on them and they have nowhere to like move. And they're like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then have tears. Whereas before they're like, fuck you, and like, and I'm so sorry. Don't give me 20 years. Just give me 1. That's all I deserve. And not even that. Give me with good behavior, because I'll be good. I haven't been good up to now, but I'll be good now because now I feel really bad about it. Oh, you're going to jail forever. Because not only that 20, we got this 20 and this 20 and this 20 and this 20. You're going to be like Weinstein. We're going to like convict you for 16 years in LA, and then we're going to take you over to New York. We're going to convict you for 20 years over there. And then you're going to go back to LA, and you're going to spend the next 16 years, spending out that term. Oh, and you're like 89. God, that's too bad. You're probably not even going to make it 16 years. But if you do, then we're going to come over here and you're going to spend another 20 years. All right. And that's the way these people are going to be. They're going to be in jail for the rest of their lives. If they're lucky. If they're lucky. All right. So it's going to be very interesting. Democrats are riot deniers. Democrats are riot deniers. I don't see anything. But what is that Bernie building and those people throwing rocks? I don't know. I don't see anything. Come on. So let's let this run until it can't run anymore. This Chevy. All right, the Chevy commercial. So I guess they came out with, they had those big vehicles that everybody loves, Hemis. And so I guess they came out with them again.
Just said that these riots in LA and all over the country are orchestrated. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right, Jesse. These aren't spontaneous at all. They're about as authentic as AstroTurf. They are bought and paid for flash mobs. And I want to know who's doing the buying and the paying. That's why today I've launched an investigation. I've sent multiple investigators.
Authentic as AstroTurf? Who came up with that talking point? Does Josh Hawley come up with that just a spur of a moment? I would like to think that, some of these people have that quick a wit, but I don't know. So, it is starting to be talked about that there are people that are funding this, and the people that are funding it will be held responsible at some point. How long? Wheels of justice are slow. In the meantime, cities burn, people die, and the wheels of justice are turning slowly. Yeah. And then, of course, we see a lot of people that are going to be, I don't know, talking like it's there's nothing here. Don't worry. But there's sky rises or on fire, and people are jumping from them, and it's like people are running through the streets, shooting everybody, and stealing. All the stores are looted. Now, in most of California already, there's hardly any stores left. I watched this one guy who basically walks up and down these streets of California, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington State. And a lot of stores are done, guys. Malls are done. Everybody's already, we need to get out of here before the riots start. Right? This city's collapsing. Let's get the hell out. So it's already a done deal. So you're going to see all this looting of what's left, and then they'll burn, and there won't be anything for anything in these cities. Like we talked about, yesterday, if you missed the show with Juan O'Savin, he said that 14 cities. He's like 14 cities. I said, it looks like it may be 17. He said, yeah, there will be 100 or more where there's going to be, rioting, but it'll kind of settle down to 14. Okay. So the ones that I called out, they already seem to be having problems. The time now is 555. So I must be right. What was my list again? Let me see. I had a nice list. St. Louis, Milwaukee, of course, and DC. I think DC. I've seen DC all the way back to January 6th. Baltimore, of course, is close enough to DC. It might as well go to New Orleans, Philadelphia, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Denver. So I've said this over and over again. So when these cities are gone, then you can go, Mike, you were right again. You said get out of the big cities, and you were right. Right. So it's not me. It's not me that's right. It's God telling me to tell you. Right. Some people listen, some people don't. Right. So the riots are going to escalate. There'll be a slow roll until they're not anymore. All right. A slow roll until they're not anymore. And then they're gonna pick up speed, and it's gonna be crazy. Now, also what we have going on, guys, is Iran. Iran is getting ready to go down because they're all the embassies like in Iraq and Kuwait and Oman and I guess a few other places. They're basically telling all the all the non-essential personnel and family members, get the hell out. Get the hell out, because we're going to knock hell out of Iran, because they're saying that, and Iran has said, screw you guys. We're just going to go someplace secret and build it out. We're going to build the nuke out. You're not going to know what's at. So that's the ruling, elite there in Iran. So I say all they have to do, and I'll come back to the screen in a minute. All they have to do is basically take out the what's that, guard or whatever that they have there, the ruling elite and their little, Praetorian Guard, whatever. So they take out those people, and the people of Iran will take it back. All right, they've been saying this for years. Basically, you give us an inch, and we'll take the mile. Help us out a little bit, and we'll take our country back. And I think that's coming. I think Trump is going to actually do that. He's going to basically go in and he's going to slam the hell, and Israel, of course, because Israel's the one that's at most threat, because Iran says we're going to build a bomb so we can nuke Israel. Right? So I don't know. We'll probably start to see bombing in Israel pretty soon. I think once they get most of the family members and non-essential personnel out of those embassies and in safe areas, they're going to start bombing, because there will be attacks from all of Iran's puppets all around the world, probably here in America, right? So that's one of the things you have to be ready for, right? So it's gonna get. There's a lot of things going down. A lot of things going down right now.
24 hours or so, especially the last 15 hours, we've had these riots actually spreading around the United States. First, let's start with LA, because the police obviously once again they declared any assembly of these guys unlawful in downtown LA, and of course it kicked off.
So this is 3 hours ago. Oh, did you just throw that rock? Oh, you're going to get 20 years. Yeah, I don't think they're stopping. Right? You can call off the party, but yeah, they're not leaving. They're not leaving. So this is last night, and then they just started arresting people who said, "Go home, or you're going to be arrested." So
Some girls standing there keeping score with some focus.
they're not listening. All right, where's that other one? I want you guys to see if I can find it.
A quick video from Chicago.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of brainwashed people.
Now, of course, there's been a lot of media coverage on this in regards to the actual lawmakers.
Now, Juan said last night or yesterday, he said that Chicago would be next. He said LA and Chicago's next, right? So we had, Prickster talking today. It's like they're doing everything right. It's up to the federal government. So when the federal government has to come in and save Chicago's ass, they're going to blame Trump, right? So all the places where Trump will have to go in and save a city, it will be his fault that it got bad. That's going to be the narrative.
Politicians in the U.S. Senator Hawley went on, I believe, Fox News, and one of the things that he was discussing was actually about the funding and about the connections. He was saying that
all right, so yeah, the funding, they're going to go into that, but is that going to stop the leftist revolution? No. not going to stop it. It's going to continue because they're being paid, and there's a lot of people, millions, that have been brought here to do these riots, guys. And they've been trained, and they've been organized, and they're going to go off. They're going to go off because they've been here for a long time. All right, so the leftists are going to do their thing. The agenda is simple enough to understand: open borders, third world replacement of the native population, a complete overhaul of our culture's fundamental principles, and ultimately the utilization of the foreign populace and leftist activists as a weapon to eliminate any resistance. So they're gaining, all they're doing right now is gaining their foothold. Gaining their foothold. I've seen this all over the world, guys. I know the terrorism comes. The terrorism's coming. Interference on a political level is met with mob violence. So you're seeing Trump interfering with them taking control of LA. So there's mob violence. Looting, seeing the looting. Rioting, and eventually terrorist actions and assassinations. So who will be targets of assassination? People revealing their evilness. Yeah. This is the classic model of leftist revolutions throughout modern history. They seem to be disjointed and reactionary. So they're trying to reveal that this is not just a couple people that got together. It's like, I'm going to riot today. You want to riot with me? Yeah, let's go riot. Let's go. Let's paint some signs. Yeah, it's not happening that way. It's and that would be okay. I mean, if you got a beef, America, we do have freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, freedom to protest, and so forth. But when they get violent, which these are already there, then that's a no-no. And then we have to come in and spank you. And if we really have to spank you, then you go away for 20 years coming up. So classic example, and yet their efforts end up highly coordinated and conveniently timed. So 2,000 demonstrations on the 14th. And this, this No Kings site just kind of popped up, and boom, there we have it. Now, the 14th, of course, is President Trump's birthday. It's Flag Day, and it is the 250th anniversary of the start of the Army, U.S. Army. So they're going to have a nice parade in Washington, D.C., hopefully. And meanwhile, a satanic temple is purposefully opening a telehealth abortion clinic in Maine on President Trump's birthday, of course, naming it to mock him. Okay. So, I mean, they keep doing this, and then more people start to see that, and they're like, that's not so good. Maybe I'm on the wrong side of this. Right. So the more this happens, of course, Huma Abedin, Hillary Clinton's buddy. Yes, buddy. Right. They were very close buddies. You know what I'm talking about. She is marrying Alex Soros on the 14th. What a perfect day. June bride. Yeah. Just happens to be on the 14th. But they planned this for a long time. Did they know this was coming? The wedding date of Huma Abedin and Alex Soros has been set for June 14th. Huma Abedin, a former Hillary Clinton lover, right? Aide, and her financier. How do I know that? Us security guys, we know things. We know things. Fiance. I was like, fancy. It's like fiance. Alex Soros also sent out elegant save the date cards, and as quoted in report by page 6. So we're also going to have a wedding. I think of who else is getting married? Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. Sanchez. Sounds Spanish to me. Is she from South America, or is she from Spain, or something like that? So it doesn't really matter. But they're gonna get married on his yacht. He's got a little yacht, $500 million yacht, $500 million yacht. So anyway, June happy brides. It's really good. All right, so they're military offensive against the cartels threatening America. Now, this is from retired Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney and Paul Vallely, Major General. I've had Major General Vallely on my show. I think at some point probably get the Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney. I try to get him back in the early stages when we all started this stuff, and I don't think I ranked high enough for him to come on my show, because his person that was handling his shows is like, who are you? It's like former Navy SEAL, and I got a show. I got like 100,000, 150,000. As I'm speaking to you, 150,000. Used to be 250,000. Now it's 150,000. So and so they didn't get back to me. But I think now he's kind of open to talking to anybody. Time is the holdouts. So he's a holdout. I'm a holdout. And I think he'll probably come on the show if we invite. I don't know, maybe. But I'd like to get both of them on. And so they're talking about and I guess President Trump actually listens to these gentlemen, from what I understand. So they're talking about the cartels just across the border. They say that they have RPG-7 grenade launchers, 50 caliber sniper rifles, military-grade weapons. And like I've said, many of them are very much like the ones that are used in Ukraine that came from Afghanistan. Right? So how about that? And so they basically own the border towns right across the border because the Mexican government can't control them. Can't control them. So they're heavily armed, well-financed, and control large swaths of Mexican territory. And we can't allow this to continue anymore. So I think if we go after the Mexican drug cartels, then this funding for the Democrat Party, communist system, would evaporate. These are very intelligent gentlemen. I like the way they're thinking. Meanwhile, reports of gun running from the United States to cartels continue to mount. Over 500,000 weapons per year are estimated to be smuggled into Mexico. Many trace back to U.S. manufacturers. Federal investigations and a revived Mexican lawsuit against gun makers underscore the need for tighter oversight and accountability. So I think the heavy weapons are coming over the border, but guns. Anybody in America can get guns. Any gun you want, as much as you want. So that's not an issue. And a lot of these people that are going to be rioting have lots of weapons. And a lot of those weapons have come from governments, like California government. So I talked about how in another show where I had someone that used to work inside the Capitol of California. And in the basement were large stores of ammo, much more than would be necessary for local law enforcement or anyone else. And then one day he noticed, after he had noticed them there, that they were moved. Right? So local governments, local Democrat governments are going to be funding and supplying, in my opinion, guys, unfortunately. So leftists are learning to their dismay that being a judge doesn't mean you get a free pass to the law. So I wanted to show this excellent video. This one, I think this might be the last one. So justice is coming, guys, against the justices, right? And that's what we're starting to see. And here is a great example. So here, new video shows interaction between Milwaukee judge and Attorney General Pam Bondi explain how the Trump administration will handle judges who obstruct and block federal efforts. So this is the way they can get in and do this. Now, in places like New York and Chicago, where ICE hasn't really been doing activity like they have been in LA, where they went heavy in LA because there's a lot of they already had information on a lot of this stuff. So there's no need at this point, or no angle, that the federal government can come in and put troops on the ground unless things get really out of control. So they're just keeping them, I believe, just under there, because there's people being arrested in all these cities right now. In multiple cities, thousands of people by this point have been arrested now, guys. So this is basically that judge in Milwaukee that basically told the federal agents to, hey, take a hike. So they get up and walk out, and I want you guys to watch what happens.
Video from the Milwaukee County Courthouse giving us a look at what went down last month between Judge Hannah Dugan, a team of federal agents, and a man wanted on an immigration warrant. It shows those agents in plain clothes trying to blend in until Judge Dugan calls them out. Steve Shamritz walks us through the pictures.
Judge Dugan, still in her courtroom robe, walks up to two men on a bench in the hallway. There's no audio, but after a few seconds of their conversation, both men get up and walk off. Those are the federal agents waiting to take Eduardo Flores Ruiz into custody. A few minutes later, we see Flores Ruiz back in the hallway with his lawyer. A third federal agent, Lee.
Look at this guy right here. Oh my God, he used to do this stuff all the time. So he wasn't hanging out with those guys. He was just like, if we get taken out, then you're going to hang out and keep us updated.
The wall turns.
So now he's going to get on his phone and he's going to tell everybody that they're walking this guy out.
And follows them out. We see the three of them again walking out through a security checkpoint. First Flores Ruiz and his lawyer, and then the agent
on the phone.
His brown shirt. A low-key pursuit that continues through a tunnel out the building. The agent just 8 steps behind. Outside the building, the pace picked up. You can see people sprinting across 10th Street. The feds say agents were chasing down Flores Ruiz as he tried to run, a pursuit that ended seconds later with the agents returning and Flores Ruiz in custody.
And Judge Hannah Dugan was arrested a week later by the...
Yay. All right. So when I say that these people that are in the state houses, right, are going to be arrested and we'll never see them again, they'll be behind bars for the rest of their lives if they're lucky. I'm not bullshitting. All right. As you saw right there, that woman, that judge is, life is not looking so good for her right now. And who knows what else they might find for some of these other people coming up. It's not going to be good for them, guys. All right. All right. So go to my down in my description box. I have the LifeWave information, LifeWave standard love vibrations. If you want to be in those loving vibrations, you want to have the LifeWave patches on your body. Right. So feel the love, put the patches on, you'll feel the love, your body will transform and you'll be younger, reverse the aging process, overcome all kind of crazy stuff that's probably assaulting your body a lot of different ways. So we're getting a lot of people having miracle results. So hopefully you guys check that out, get on the patches, get on the miracles, and we'll see you guys next time.